Hello, watch lovers. The watch guy here with another episode of nice watches. This time, it's my pleasure to introduce a Grand Seiko, an SBGN005G. Quite a mouthful. I've been intrigued by Grand Seiko for a long time, and I was looking for an entry level GMT from Grand Seiko, and found one, ordered it, and it was used. It's a 23, and I will call this the Battle of the Quartz. And you can see I've been wearing it last few days and came away very happy, impressed. As you know, none of these watch companies sponsor me. This is a watch lover who is giving you good advice if you want to take it. First of all, this is a entry level GMT, a lower priced Grand Seiko or Seiko. It has a blue dial. Actually, it comes off as black until you put a shining light on it. Very dark blue. Has a non-rotating steel bezel with military time on it. Has a locking hub, or as you can see, has two positions, one to adjust the GMT time with a beautiful red arrow, and one for local time. Its date and its quartz. It's supposed to be accurate enough for about 10 seconds per year. That makes it more accurate than any automatic watch. GS logo. It's a used watch, pretty good condition. Special coating along the sides, Zarustra coating as they call it. It is beautiful. And more importantly, it wears very well on my 7-inch wrist. Molds the wrist very well. It's not one of those clear back watches. The problem with this coating sometimes is that it really takes your fingerprints very quickly and you have to wipe it. Otherwise, it's a beautiful example of a used, beautiful watch. Let me give you a close-up look. I would say, look at this beautiful edged hour markers and minute markers, almost like a double-edged knife. Beautiful window date and very clear GMT hand. Polishing is one-sided, you see, brush strokes. A lot of people have actually complained about the bracelet on a GS. I found the bracelet to be somewhat less substantial than, for example, bracelet on a Rolex, or for that comparison Omega, but for this relatively medium weight watch, good enough. Easy to take apart the joints. It is slightly complicated because the screws hold back a pin, and the screw, when you untighten it, is tiny, which is holding back the pin. So you have to take the screw out, you have to put it somewhere where you can, if you drop it, then you don't lose it, and then the pin comes out, and then after that it's relatively easy. You have to have a tweezers with you to put the screw back in. You cannot do it with just your fingers. It's very tiny. Satisfying click. Overall, really happy. It comes with a 5-year warranty. Warranty card is there, and so warranty should be good enough for 2028. You mail it to Grand Seiko Corporation of America. Comparing it to my Omega Seamaster, which is also a quartz. As you can see, there's a helium escape valve, somewhat older quartz, slightly scratched. Beautiful dial, light blue with the bezel that rotates. Again, a nice piece. And you can see the bracelet is somewhat similar to the Grand Seiko's, but tapers off more rapidly, and it's got this beautiful finishing here, which the Grand Seiko does not have. In the higher grade models, Grand Seiko bezel looks like that actually in newer models, but this one is more basic. It is waterproof up till 10 items, atmospheres, which is good enough. This Omega Seamaster is 1000 feet, 300 meters, 10 atmospheres. This should be close to that, I'm sure. It's got a screw down crown, so I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty sure that in normal conditions it should be fairly waterproof, and I can use it in a bath or pool or whatever. Comparing it to the Omega, let's do the sizing. .39 millimeters, thickness 12, perfect size for me, I think. Weight, hmm, 139 grams. Comparing that to Seamaster Omega, one of the slightly bigger, I'm sure, 40. Thinner, and weight about the same. Wow. Surprisingly, I thought the Seamaster would weigh more because it looks more chunkier. So this is smaller package, more dense, same weight. And see how the second hand hits the mark every single time. Certainly better dressed than the Omega is. And just for comparison's sake, you know, I have to bring in my Quartz Rolex that I have made a video of. This is an older Rolex, of course, the Oster-Quartz, with a beautiful gel jinter design, and you can see the polishing is very similar to the polishing in the GS. Let's see the weight, lighter, but this is a 1991 Oster-Quartz, one of my favorite watches. Slightly, well, somewhat smaller, as you can see, and thinner. The GS comes in a nice box. As you can see, beautiful cushion inside. I had to take some links out, so I keep the links stored. Overall, good presentation. Do I like the box better than the newer Rolexes? I don't think I do. It's kind of chunky. I think the Rolex box is a better looking box. But again, that's just a box. I am happy with this new acquisition. I personally like quartz watches. They're less, they're more hassle-free. I have automatic watches too, but these are my 3 quartz. Again, this video was the battle of the quartz. Grand Seiko held its own against a lot of more expensive watches. Of course, the most expensive one amongst the 3 was this vintage Rolex that I've had for about 2 years, 3 years now. It's been completely serviced, runs perfectly, and pretty happy with it. But on a day-to-day basis, I would wear the GS as well as the Omega more. I would say GS is the overall winner because it looks like it is a very well made watch. I would say I would put it against a Rolex, really I would. I am impressed with the GS. Although I've heard that they don't hold value very well, but it doesn't matter. This is a class watch with a class weight and feels great in your wrist. Thank you very much. All right, guys, have fun until we meet next. We are going to talk about IFL watches. I've ordered 1 or 2 of them. I think you'll be very happy to see this one-of-a-kind painted watches and modded watches that I have been interested in. Thank you. Bye-bye.